What is up, world? It's BakermanBrad. And pretty soon, this guy is gonna be real. That's right, PvP in Triad Wars. So with that said, I actually got to talk to one of the developers recently, and he gave me a ton of juicy information to share with you guys. So we're going to take a quick look at what Triad Wars has been doing, what they have planned, and I just got to say, I hope you guys are ready, because he sure wasn't. Alrighty guys, so we'll be talking about the Enforcer Evolution update that Triad Wars had in around August, so a little bit backdated there, but they've had a lot of patches since that to kind of help the game grow and get back on track. They were telling me that they had a problem with people thinking that the Triad Wars and the asynchronous gameplay was going to be the end game result. Now, he was telling me that that is absolutely not the plan. So, if any of you guys were wondering where the temples went, he was like, oh, we were ready, they're coming soon. And they never did. Why? Well, that's exactly why. The developers decided that the direction they were going was kind of stealing the limelight from what they wanted to end up doing, which was multiplayer. Real life, PvP, co-op, real people in the games. So they completely kind of put the Triad War section, the temples, on hold. Now, it's ready to go. They said they have it ready, but they just wanted to refocus and get a better community idea back on track. So with that, they are focusing on action, more action, and all real-time action. So, like I said at the very beginning, that guy that you're fighting, the other enforcer, you might be fighting a real person very, very soon. But to help with this change, what they've decided to do is, in some of the customization in the Enforcer itself, they wanted to add more depth to it, but at the same time, allow for people to change what they've previously done without it being something that they'd have to start all over or completely just scrap what they've done. So they've changed the item system. They're adding now level-based items and gear and things that you can use, so that whenever you're getting a new weapon, it's all about how you want to use it. You don't have to go and level up. You get this pistol at the beginning and your accuracy is off the charts. You put all of these points in accuracy, and that's you waste it. You don't have any of the other skills or abilities or anything like that. They're changing it to where each item is going to have a level base, and it's going to have different stats, and you're going to have to check what items are best for what situation you're going to be doing. If you're going on a raid, if you're going to try to, just fend off the police, or in any of the export missions and stuff like that, it's going to be a little bit more particular in terms of what you need to do. So it's going to add another level of depth to it. The content, the amount of quests and strategy involved in finding places and going to things is going to be a lot different. The raids are going to become significantly harder because, like I said, you're going to have to face real people. And one of those components is that these weapons now, you get them, you have all of these high-powered, extra awesome swords and crazy weapons and guns, and then all you can do is use them in, whenever you're playing. But now, you'll be able to set it to the items that your Enforcer can use, and if you're not online, your Enforcer can actually use that. But then, if you are online and you are fighting someone, the mechanics are going to be changing to where they actually respond to the weapons that you have, but neither one of you is going to be this all-powerful, I'm the only supreme being in the game, so it's going to balance out and add a lot of depth, like I said, into the Enforcer's evolution through the game, which again is why they chose the name Enforcer Evolution Update. So speaking of evolution, another component that's being looked at is actually fighting styles. They're considering putting a selection of fighting styles that you can pick whenever you're choosing your Enforcer, and allow you to add even more customization to it. Say you want to choose somebody who has a start-off Muay Thai stance, and as you progress you can learn different combo moves based on what it is that you've chosen, instead of kind of having all of these cookie-cutter unlocked moves that oh, this guy's level 30 and his character's going to have this and this and this. It's kind of blah, there it is. Now you're going to have to worry about, what is his fighting stance? Is it match mine? Is it better than mine? Does it counter mine well? What different moves does he have? Is he on? Is he have defenses set up? What, I mean, there's going to be so much more into what the players are going to be able to do in this, because of the fact that they are getting back on track. They are starting that multiplayer connection. And so with that, they actually are going to hopefully have the triads that you choose simply be the beginning of your story. Because as a lot of you may know, the Triad Wars is actually a part of the Sleeping Dog universe. So with that, it's wanting to show this rise to power before the Sleeping Dogs timeline happened. And there's going to actually, kind of cool little fun fact here, start being Sleeping Dog characters in the Triad Wars. So in Triad Wars, you can start having to fight alongside some of the characters in the game of Sleeping Dogs that will be helping you show this rise to power, this war that everyone's fighting, and hopefully that you and any other characters are the ones who are actually pushing and driving this war. So the triads you choose are going to start simply being the beginning of your story, like I said. And down the road, if it's not working how you want it to, if you don't really like what's going on, there's talk of potentially defecting from the triad. I was talking to him and we kind of threw some ideas. I don't know for sure, but maybe he was saying something like down the road, if you reach a high enough rank in the triad, that's whenever you're going to be allowed to defect, and you could have this little civil war going on, and then once you leave, you can actually create player-driven triads, just like guilds, and have a completely player-based community that in this triad is all real people. And so that is really the biggest focus of what Triad Wars is doing. And they kind of wanted to really make it clear that PvP, multiplayer, co-op, that is their goal. They have a really hard time explaining that the big picture, even beyond what we were talking about here, there is a big picture that they just can't put out right now. But they wanted to give you a big chunk of it and just kind of, like I said in the very, very beginning, refocus everybody on what Triad Wars was about. Now, there are also all of these new missions and quests, and what they're doing to kind of create this new involvement is they have several different jobs that you can do. There's going to be other races and abductions, and there's going to be a lot more quests that you'll be seeing soon. They have a lot of content ready to go, and they keep cranking out these updates and these fixes and all of these new things that you can do. Kind of like if you stumble upon certain cars, they actually now are going to have different components, where earlier, I know in the first look, James Blonde was saying that the cars are kind of, there's not really a reason to worry about your cars, but I was talking to him, and pretty soon that the cars are going to be just as customizable as the characters. You have to worry about stats on that rather than just kind of picking the prettiest one and it's going to be the fastest kind of a situation. So all of these components, they're going to be right now, they look simplistic, or they felt like maybe there wasn't something that you wanted or needed. They have them in the works, but the cool thing is they really, really want community feedback. They want this to be player-driven because that is their goal, to have like I said, the player base there and the community that's involved. They want your questions, they want your suggestions, and so all I can say is if you get the opportunity, if you're playing these games and say something comes up that you don't like, or something is missing and you feel like you need something else, tell them. Find them, go to the community page, go to the support page, go to the sites, and ask and tell them what you want to know. They were begging me to ask you guys to go out there and reach out and explain what it is that you're looking for, because that's how they'll know if they're doing their job right. It's kind of, real kind of clear, and they're all for it. So ask away, because they are not going to be upset about getting constructive feedback on this. Trust me. But with all of that said, I could go on and ramble on for, forever and still kind of just scratch the surface on this. But just keep an eye out is all I can really say. Start looking for some really cool changes in Triad Wars. They've already implemented a few of them, so it's already in the game. The Enforcer styles and being able to add those components and the Incense Master and creating differences of where, they've already started the evolution. So, let's just get ready for the ride. So, I can just say that I'm excited about it. The little bit that I got to play, I hadn't really seen much of Triad Wars and just getting to experience it, and it's already very intuitive what they've done, and I'm excited to see where this game is going because it has really good potential for becoming a fantastic game. And just like Sleeping Dogs, this is going to be one of those that people are going to recognize and talk about, and you just go out and see, like, Triad Wars, yeah, everybody knows about Triad Wars. It's that awesome. So keep your eyes peeled because there's going to be a lot more information in the pipelines from Triad Wars, and they're just going to have, like I said, a lot of content ready to go. They're going to be pushing these out, and just keep your eyes open. That's all I got to say. And if you haven't been playing Triad Wars, you might want to get back in so you can experience this evolution that we're talking about. Otherwise, just feel free to wait and see what the big picture actually is. Otherwise, I don't really have much more I can tell you. I've probably forgotten something, though, so check out the game profile page on MMOHuts.com, or go to Triad Wars and check out their page and give them the feedback they've been looking for. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. If you liked the information in the video, if you like Triad Wars, or if you're just a fan of fancy driving, feel free to hit that like button. And that's all I've got for you for Triad Wars and the Enforcer Evolution update and what they've got in store for you. So, this has been BakermanBrad, and gamers, get back to gaming. Oh my, what? Wait, how am I? Oh, my legs. Oh, my legs. Why? Okay, I'm good. I'm fine. Haters gonna hate.